Your life experience, good or bad, is a gift when you share it with others. At Taxichronicles, we allow real riders with real stories to share their gift. So hopefully this episode will intrigue, enhance or inspire you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we've got a politician, a finance guy and a teacher, which is interesting because politicians don't like to pay teachers, finance guys don't like to pay anybody. So anyway, Bob, Steve and Kevin, nice to have you here today.
Hello, thank you for having us.
So tell us, why did you get into finance, why did you get into politics, and why did you get into teaching?
I didn't want to pay teachers. That was Kevin. Politics, just, very underrepresented, isn't it? Like, I'm an independent, so I don't have a political party, can't really get on with the political party.
Bit of an idealist.
Yeah, a bit of an idealist, bit of a dreamer, so it was a bit of that, really.
Do all independents, are they all in the same club, or are they independent as in everybody's standing on the street corner like a dealer?
Maybe not like a dealer, but yeah, they're all kind of independent of themselves, so like I just kind of stood on my own platform as me. I like wrote a leaflet and a letter to all my constituents saying who I was, and they all voted for me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What's your title?
Councillor.
So what's the difference between that and an MP?
So basically the money. It's the workload as well, kind of thing, and the powers you have and the responsibility you have.
So councillors,
yeah, they get like a lot less money and they have less power than an MP, and we look after a smaller area.
Okay.
But we have a lot of responsibility, over kind of the bins and things that happen we get wards, we get areas of towns, and we look after them, kind of thing.
Okay. Is that how long have you been in politics?
Too long. Like 4 years now.
Oh, it's some time. Oh yes, you've been voted in.
Yeah.
Wait.
So I got voted in twice, actually.
Oh, is it? Well done.
Successfully re-elected.
Yeah, so I must have been doing something all right.
Yeah, well, there's no disrespect. There's not many people to vote for nowadays.
Well, yeah, none taken. I think that's the gap in the market I found.
Slim pickings.
Yeah. I could be.
Definitely a charismatic. You're funny. You seem very genuine. Yeah, get involved.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of my views I may get crucified for, but yeah. What would you say you've learnt in your time in politics that you wish you knew when you started?
Oh, that's a really good one.
And this goes for you as well, teacher. I know all three of you. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I thought I got out of it.
I think what do I wish I learned that I knew when I started out? Like the processes. Like there's a lot of kind of tape, and there's a lot of things you have to kind of get your head around when you start out. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was like go in there, change the world, like really naively. But like there is like a lot of things you have to kind of understand before you do things. So I guess that really.
Okay. The kind of things that you have to understand, is there a way of someone being informed about those things prior to doing what you do?
Probably. I went into it very blind, kind of thing. I just thought, oh yeah, I'll run for office. Yeah, go on. You probably do research into it and learn a bit about it. But there isn't much education, in schools or anything. Was that a flag, is it?
Give that a clap. He's been annoying me. He's dead now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there should be more education, just basically about the processes of politics, like the process, because there isn't anything in schools, I don't think, really.
They wouldn't.
Especially from the local level.
It's like finance, isn't it? They don't want to teach us.
No, well, that is, and that is a good link to my good friend here, Bob.
So, yeah. Bob, what have you learned about finance that you wish you knew when you started?
It's incredibly cutthroat. I will say.
That sounds serious.
Sounds like politics.
Yeah.
I see a serious look at Bob's face, man.
And it's true. Yeah, just like you said in politics, to where, everyone or you think going into it, people would have kind of the broader interest at, you know, the top of their minds.
Yeah.
But really, what it comes down to, and you could probably say the same for politicians too, is it's very singular in a way, and that you're kind of looking after yourself. And sometimes, you know, collectively that can lead to good things, but also in a way can make people quite, you know, selfish, can make people a bit backstabbery.
Yeah, kind of narrow-minded.
In a way, narrow-minded. Yeah, thank you.
Do
And-
you go on?
No, that's it. Yeah.
To the teacher, would you say the same in your industry?
Narrow-minded.
When backstabbing and
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah. Especially the kids. They come in with a knife straight in the back. Don't turn around to write on the board because you got.
And then you have to deal with the parents.
Yeah,
The same way in
parents are
finance, you
even
got to deal
worse,
with clients, and then in,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
politics, you got to deal
everyone.
with constituents
Yeah,
and everyone.
a lot of bad.
And then this guy just taking his time to cross the
he's
road.
drunk,
Yeah.
isn't he? Look, he's gonna fall.
Bless him.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying. I hear you.
Like, are the parents pretty difficult?
Yeah, parents.
Because
can be
I feel like everybody I know that's a teacher,
yeah.
that's the top point that they
You get
bring
some
up.
parents where if you've got someone misbehaving, right, you call home hoping they're gonna, you know, do something at home to help a bit, and they're like, oh, it's the same at home. So it's like, oh, right. So I wish I hadn't bothered to call you. They then ask you, what can I do? What can I do? I'm not. Well, you're the parent.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not your job to teach them manners and how to behave.
This is very interesting, and I like it the way it's across the board because there's common traits. How would you solve that, teacher? How would you solve the fact that you've got children that are misbehaving, and you've got parents who just don't give a monkeys or need help? Because what they're really saying there is like, I need help. I'm glad you realised because
yeah,
I've
I
realised.
don't know, because I don't think anything's done about that. But
Yeah, but what would you think is the solution? Is it to have social workers permanently in school, or those specialist people who teach parents, or what?
yeah, maybe someone to go into the home. That's the thing. Maybe.
It's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think
Right?
it's not practically possible. I don't think. But
I mean, should the school like run classes, like run some sort of like, you know?
see, the school does stuff like has like internal exclusion and stuff. So kids who are really misbehaving go in there and they're not in actual lessons. They're in,
But does that actually help anything?
I
Or
don't
does that
think, I
just
don't
kind
think
of
it
like
really does.
isolate
It just
them even
isolates
further?
them, and then they're even more like
Right.
angry when they get back into the class.
Because they get more excluded from their peers. Yeah.
So then it makes it even worse. I don't know.
Well, it comes down to, I think, you know, a lot of times parents don't want to take the blame themselves for having misbehaved kids,
Yeah.
or even kids
You get the ones who deny everything and are
Right.
like, oh no, it can't be him. He can't be doing that. He's such an angel.
When
know.
you say, look at the video camera.
Yeah. I had a kid. I asked this kid to pass me his football at the start of a lesson. Just put it into my hands, and he threw it in my face. Made my lip bleed. And I called home, and his mum went, "Oh, it must have been an accident." He wouldn't have done that on purpose. And I said, "Well, I had my hands out. He could have placed it in my hands, and instead he threw it in
What
my
did
face."
you do?
Well, I called home. That's all I could do.
How old is it?
I mean, you can't chin him, right?
Kid's about 12. Just laughing his head off.
You know what?
Oh my
I couldn't
God.
be a teacher.
Yeah, can't do anything really. Detention, phone call home. That's it. That's
Right.
all.
No.
Your
So-
power's unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's like reverse.
Find a
from
way.
back in the day.
And what's happened since? Like, you know,
Revenge.
has anything happened since with him and you?
He's a nut.
Have you-
That kid's a nut. So he just
have you got
takes
a bit of
piss.
a rivalry still?
Yeah. He just takes a piss. He comes in, he bobs up and down on his stool. He's really annoying. Oh my god. He'll just walk out. He say, "Can I have 5 minutes outside?" You have to give him 5 minutes outside so they can calm down.
Have you explained to him that he's going to be dumb as fuck?
Yeah.
By the time he leaves the school,
Yeah.
if he
doesn't
doesn't
seem to
start
care.
paying attention.
The annoying thing is he's fairly bright. That's the annoying. I wish he was dumb as fuck, but he's quite clever.
He's smarter than you.
And he fucking knows it as well, yeah. He tried to teach once. I let him go up to the front and teach. I was like,
You let him give a lesson.
forget it, Josh. I'll sit in your seat. You go up there. I'll fucking bob in my stool.
Next day I lost.
Throw a football at you.
Next day I lost my job. He had it.
Oh,
God.
okay. How would you, the finance guy, so how would you fix the problems in the finance world?
You're never going to, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it that I've come to realize over the years. I think younger, being a bit of an idealist, the same way the politician Steve-O or Kevo is. Kevin, yeah.
Kevin,
is
that's
here.
what we're going with.
You get to the point where everything is just so intertwined globally, and then you've seen it a lot with like Brexit too, that things you think don't matter like actually do from a finance and economic perspective, that trying to even change things the slightest just kicks off a whole shitstorm. And you've seen it in Brexit, where even the simplest of economic terms that have been changed because of it, now all of a sudden has essentially put the UK into a whole firestorm of how do we now conduct trade with the rest of Europe, and then or even the rest of the world as well, because now they've had to go and beg to Australia and to the United States and Canada
And to the Commonwealth countries.
and to the Commonwealth countries to try to now make up a gap that has been lost. So it's the kind of thing where, like, at the end of the day, I think the status quo stays the same, but you're kind of just shuffling the shit around a bit.
What strikes me from what you're saying, being an ex-military man, is no team.
Yeah.
There's just no team. It's every man for himself.
Right.
Which, considering finance is most of our economy in this country, is kind of nerve-wracking, because it's like, if there's no team, it could easily shatter.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard, to blame countries for being, I guess you could say, nationalistic about economic practices, right? The same way the UK has gone with Brexit. You've seen it in the States, the way China conducts business as well, that the way of operation from that perspective is, okay, we're going to try to look after our own, and here's how we're going to do it. But they don't give too much thought past that to realize, what you do has a knock-on effect, right? Because the UK needs to take care of more than just the UK.
Yeah.
Because the UK exports goods all around the world. The finance industry has an impact all around the world. And you could say the same about the States. You could say the same about China and whatnot, or any other major global economy. That
it can't be American first. It can't be
exactly.
First. It's got to be what the Commonwealth was originally designed for, but never actually implemented.
Exactly, yeah. Or at least you don't even have to be sympathetic, but at least be empathetic about the situations in other places, and try to foster those relationships. Because when you try to go it alone, I think especially from a UK perspective, where you don't have the might of, say, the United States or China, you're left kind of at the bargaining table with no one else on your side. And now all of a sudden, okay, and you've seen Boris has had to do it, where he's had to go and beg Australia and Canada, Commonwealth nations, or even the United States, for trade deals to try to save face. And I think that's been like a pretty good lesson that I hope will have impacts going forward. That, like, it is like, yes, you need to also take care of your own, but you need to be aware of the side effects as well.
Kev, what would you say to that? Because before you answer that question, what I would say is this: Boris doesn't understand the word accountability.
Yeah.
So him going to talk to Australia doesn't really bother him.
Yeah.
He wants more gin and tonic. That's all he knows.
So what was the question? Sorry.
In relation to what Bob said.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the way the politics has gone.
Yeah.
And the problems it's caused.
Yeah.
And the way we should move forward. As an idealist and an independent.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd say, like, well, for me, I'm only the only person I can take accountability for is me. So, and the only person we can take accountability for is ourselves. So if we, on a very individual level, okay, obviously we want the society to work as a whole, but if we, on a very individual level, are just kind to each other and just good to each other and try hard for each other, then that's going to make a difference. You know, even in the smallest way. Like this podcast has been the highlight. Well, I've just been to see a football game, but this has probably been the highlight of my day. It's been funny, it's been good, it's been a really good Uber drive, you know, and that's because you do what you do, and that's helping people. And I'm sure you have like loads of listeners. This is the first time I've heard of it, but I'll listen to it from now on. And you know, that's helping people on like a really individual level, you know, and that's all we can do, is we can only be ourselves and try to make the world better around ourselves. And if everyone did that, then the world would become a better place. And I know that sounds really gushy and really like ridiculous, but it's true, you know. It like, for example, in my politics, I'm lucky to like work at a very local level. And just the other week, I got an email off an old lady, and like I'd managed to keep her in her house, because basically the council had misinterpreted the law and wanted to evict her. And actually, when they found this mistake, they also managed to keep other people in their homes as well. And she sent me this really nice email. And it's only something small, you know, it's only like a few individuals who have managed to keep in their house, but that is like huge to them, kind of thing. So I think, like, you know, you just got to keep doing what you're doing, forget about Boris, he's a moron, and just like keep trying to make the world better. Yeah, I guess. Sorry, I went on a bit there.
Don't worry. Thanks a lot for that. Said like a true politician. And no, but it's good. That's why they voted you back in, mate. That's why, because if you notice, you're helping people think
Soon to be
that
third
goes
time.
around. That goes around. Then I would vote for you, but I don't know what constituency you come from. But anyway, gents, we've come to the end of the journey. It's been a great interview.
Yes.
And have a nice day.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to share and subscribe to get the latest episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economies and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Mondays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. British Standard Time.